Hello everyone, my name is Slumperd and welcome back to Symmetria. We're back in our old skin or our normal skin, as I haven't been doing much for the greens lately, so we're still part of it, but yeah, if we do something for the greens again, I'll switch back. In between episodes I have redone this floor here, and So what I've been doing is from like a lantern, I've been kind of like tendriling out various blocks, and then I've kind of like filled in the rest with other blocks. And I think this bit more messy look, oh yeah, and then this one's for the in between spots where there was like a hole left. But yeah, I do like this bit more messy look more than the previous island thing. But that island thing did make me think that for the fire area, that it could be more interesting to kind of have like these islands of like blackstone, and I'll probably put some grey stuff in it as well as kind of ash, and have that around. And I was kind of experimenting around a bit, and what I did here is like I did pull this lava over it, and then maybe what I want to do is, but that's going to be a lot of like extra work, or mostly just a lot of collecting lava actually, but just pool lava everywhere here and then have the glass over it so it's still like walkable and everything. But yeah, that's for later. For now, oh, I need to eat. But yeah, for now I'm first gonna make the islands and kind of have a look and how we can go in between it. Maybe what I'll do is that I'll just kind of make it like similarly to how we have those veins and those veins. That will do the same thing but with lava here that's spread through the ground. Yeah, speaking of those walls, what I think I want to do first thing in this episode is finish them, because I have put those and those there as like markers where the walls will be finished or where the transition will be. So this will also like kind of go over it, and that one even more so. And then in a similar vein, this how I tendril this out will also like overlap with the other side of the fire area here. But yeah, let's first do the walls, and then I'll see you once those are done. And magically the whole thing is done! Almost. Here, was planning on having everything done after the time lapse, but it's a lot of work, and honestly at this point also a little bit boring, as it's just a lot of like the same steps as there were. But I think we're pretty close actually now that I look about it. I haven't been on the server in a couple of days, so it's actually, it felt like much more than now that I look at it actually. So maybe at the end of this episode we'll actually have it done. But before we continue with anywhere there, I do want to start something new actually. And I first was kind of like delaying that, as I feel like I've been doing a lot of projects, like starting them and then not finishing any of them. But at the same time, it's not like I'm like with this area, for example, like it's not like I'm not doing anything. I'm continuing, but it's just a lot of work and it's slowly going. So I don't really mind starting something new as long as I don't like literally stop or not finish something else for it. And actually, for we can. I'm not sure if I like. Oh yeah, that was actually. Okay, we'll get back to the new project soon because first, actually, I want to talk about this here. Okay, so I just mid-sentence lost completely track of what I was saying, so we're gonna start over again. So I had built these islands and I kind of surround them with the lava thing, and at first I was gonna make more smaller islands, but when I was building them here, I think I wanted to have them like yeah, about this size, and like they're all similar size. I think this one is the smallest one. Maybe that, yeah, that one, but that's just the entrance to that area over there. So that one doesn't count. But yeah, they've become like a little bit bigger. So what I think I'm gonna do is like make actual streams in between them and make the whole thing. Yeah, well, actually that's kind of the thing we have to look at. What do I want to make, like streams that like we connect these islands and these islands and these islands like with lava pools, and maybe even we'll also probably make lava around this one and then connect those as well. Maybe I don't want to do that, or you just want to do it all lava. And then when we have that, when we have it all lava, we can like really put some effort into the islands. Only thing with that is that it's at least in its original intention, and of course that isn't something that in that way has to remain in the same way, but the kind of point is that this was of course originally meant to be a village, as it were, like the improved version of the village that we have above here, like the true village, as it were. On the other end, since it is supposed to be like a magical village with magical creatures that live there, it doesn't necessarily have to look like how we imagine a village. We just have to kind of on these islands and maybe even in the lava, like look around and find ways to make it look like something or someone lives there. And that way, if we go at it like that, I think it could still be very cool. But that's all questions for later, because for now I am gonna hop on to I'm not sure if I'm gonna jump onto the Symmetria creative world or onto just a single player creative world, as I am gonna explain my new project. So welcome to my creative test world. Are there any builds? Oh yeah, there you can see the office that I tried with the floating stuff. I think the other things that are here are all last season things. Oh yeah, that was what I was originally intending for my base and for my village before I decided to go on the hidden with leaves thing. For now, we are here for our minigame. And here I made a little bit of a setup for it, but what I want to explain about this minigame first, let's actually grab a couple of blocks. So the game is slightly inspired on the what's called Myth, and it also has a lot of similarities to like the sense of time in MCC, and there was another game that was also had some similarities too. But basically this will all be like one big maze, and as you move through the maze, the deeper you go in, the better rewards you get. And in the end, the team who has found the biggest reward wins. Since it's based on the, because that's where it originally came up with it from the Myth. What we I think also could do is like in the middle, we'll have this large like. What's it called? This large treasure chamber. And what I think it could also be fun as like an alternative game mode is that instead of because the original idea is that you kind of navigate this maze, and if you come across other players you can kill them and try and take the loot, stuff like that. You maybe can even steal the loot from other bases, as it were. But instead of that, everyone will just start basically without any equipment, and Instead, in the middle, one person playing the Minotaur starts, and either you could maybe give everyone just a set number of lives, or we could just say that the Minotaur is like an NPC, can't really win the game, but it's just their job to kill off as many of the other players as possible. And yeah, I think that could be maybe a little bit claustrophobic, but also a lot of fun. Also to kind of keep the game a bit interesting, because one of the mechanics I want in it that I definitely did take directly from MC Championship's Sense of Time, is that I want to give no, don't have a crafting. I want to give players carpet that they can use to either navigate the thing, but when like if I'm on magenta and I find yellow's carpet, I can of course like destroy that and put it somewhere else, and make it look different, as it were. I think that could also be a fun mechanic. So that's what the main idea is, as it were. And then here I have a couple of things I want to add. Is I want to have either the Minotaur, one that's in play, have them be able to like go underground, and then maybe what the rule will be is that like I'll give every team some starting equipment, and there will be no torches in that, so even if people have Optifine, you can see it with them, but the Minotaur will get torches, so they can use those torches to kind of like underground walk around and see up, as it were. Or similarly, same thing, but there will be these holes in the top floor, and the Minotaur can use them to kind of jump in and ambush people. And in the same way then, and then in the middle room, in the treasure room, they'll be able to climb up, as it were, and then they can try again, or they can just roam the maze. But that also kind of going to depend on how big this total area is going to be, because since it is on the server, of course, and I don't know how much area we're going to get per minigame. But that's also, I think, what's going to be good about this game, because technically, I think the maze can also, instead of like having it go deeper into the maze with to gain better loot, it could also be literally going like deeper, going down into the maze. And if we do it like that, this is like fairly easy to make in a smaller thing or in a small area. So the only problem is that one of the things I want to do to keep it like replayable and have people be able to play it many times without just like knowing the maze, and still keep like the mechanics of wool placing relevant, is I'm gonna have at the beginning just a big room full of buttons, and everyone who plays can press these buttons a bunch of times. So like this, and then those will turn off like specific locations in the maze, and so every time you play it, it will be like slightly different to walk around in. I think that could be fun, and other than that, I think I'm also gonna make like a similar room with other rules, like is there a Minotaur, is there a like what are you allowed and not allowed to do, stuff like that, just so people can be clear on the rules when they play it. And we'll do that with levers and a lamp, as it were, just to make it obvious, like these rules are on, these rules are off. Redstone wise, it's not going to be much more complicated as like what we have here. The largest obstacle I think that we are going to find is that if we do need to like dig deep down here, then this mechanic is going to be a little bit more difficult, because then it needs to go like up and over, as it were. And there also needs to be mechanics for because I don't want it to be like blocks that you need to mine or anything. I just want there to be chests that also can be refilled. And I'm kind of also hoping that I'm not sure about a counting system, because that sounds very difficult, but I do want to have like something like this, where you put after the game, put all your golden nuggets, all your emeralds and all your diamonds in the chests, and those will be sorted and kind of like at least slightly randomly distributed among the chests in there, so it's not exactly the same. Like there's not just a general knowledge of, hey, in that location, there's always more of this or more of that. And I've got a bit of random. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna experiment with that a little bit, and once I have something more, I'm gonna get back to you. But that's gonna be problems for later, as I am probably already very much at the time limit for what I want my videos to be. So that's gonna be it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you next one. Bye bye! But I'm remembering now that I should add to that is also a starting place for the Minotaur. I think I'm gonna do is, and it kind of has to like flip on its side as it were, or maybe I've now imagined this as the entrance to, I don't know how deep this goes actually, but I imagine that we're gonna go for the underground thing, so people will start and enter the labyrinth underneath them. And I think I'll do a flipped version of this, in that the this will be like the outer wall, and then we're gonna build in the middle here, or then from each side, so there will be another module for the other teams, and above that will be the control room from which you can jump into here. And I think that way we can have a fairly large control room still, and have kind of like have these all be at the edge of a chunk, so we can do like a 4x4 area, which, if we take into account that most of it's now going to be on different levels and higher and lower. Ooh, that's maybe a fun thing as well, that the Minotaur can still get access if they play with that to control room even after the game starts. So they can't change any rules, but they can change the layout. I think that could be very fun. But yeah, so these will like be pulling away from each other, and everyone will, like, when the game begins, jump in here, and there will be like a maze here. And I think I have it now. I think it was 10 by 8 or something, and I think I'm gonna make this 7. Like, do it like this. No, the other here. Just so we can have that one block center, because I do want to have the entirety of the dungeon to be one block. So then you'll enter something like this where you can see a lot. And then there will be chests here somewhere to put all your valuables in. Do feel free though, if you have suggestions or any ideas on how to make this game more interesting, or me to better explain it if it was difficult to understand. So yeah, if you have any of suggestions or questions, feel free to leave them in the comments, and I'll read through them. It is now a couple days later, and I came up with a maybe a solution to a problem I've been having about the size of this thing. In that I think it's gonna be very difficult for me to have this system working well if it needs to go deeper instead of just line in a line. So like, this is easy because I just need to put it from there in the one line to here. But if I have to kind of like have it climb first from above here, come, and then go surrounding it and then go in, I think that's going to be a bit difficult for me. Maybe once I'm a bit more redstone experienced, I'll take on a challenge like that. But so what I'm thinking of doing, maybe instead of this 2x2 area, we'll make it a 2x3 area. And in that case we can, or well, it might be even slightly larger, maybe a 4x2 area. We'll see what we need, because we'll make this control room then like in here. And so here will be a control room as it were. And up till now I have continuously seen the teams as like being on opposite sides as it were. But what we could also do, of course, is have those teams be next to each other. So the next one would be here, and another one would be on the other side. And that way there can be 4 of these next to each other that all lead into the same maze, that then instead of going down it would like go like this. And then the further in you go, the better loot you get. So that way it's logistically easier for both the redstone and the players. It will require like a lot larger area, as it were, but it also I think that is definitely going to be the best way for me to be able to do this. But that's going to be problems for later, as I am probably already very much at the time limit for what I want my videos to be. So that's going to be it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you next one. Bye bye!